Sorry, I'm a little late. Well, hello. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, love. Hello, get into it, goddess. We'll wait for a few more people. Running a little late. Hello. Thanks for waiting. Thank you. Please make sure you drop the gems. We go just do a little oh, sorry. Okay. I was just getting a message and I was running. We just go do a little talk. We're going to talk about a little love. We'll wait for a few minutes, a few more people to come in. Thanks for waiting. All right. Andrea, we'll wait for a little more people to come. Thank you. Hey, really, B? Happy belated birthday, baby. I don't know if you saw that. I wished you a happy birthday because you was really having a good time. Glad you enjoyed your birthday. Hi, Pat. How are you? I just wanted to come on. It was kind of dry. Hi, Redbone. I want to wish Redbone son a happy birthday. It's her son's birthday. Hi, Wendy. How are you? Exclusively me. Hey, how are you, Miss Pizarro? Miss Pizarro, I was surely waiting for you to talk about this Wayfair thing. You know, I'm a conspiracy theorist too. You know, I don't want people to think I'm crazy, but I don't know. Really, B, you know, we still have to get together and eat some crabs. I don't know. You guys. I had scheduled this and earlier, but then I decided to do it a little late. I really just wanted to talk about love, a little bit about love with this Will and Jaden and Smith. What? Jada Smith? Yeah, Will and Jada Smith, whatever their name is, the Smith people. You know those people who I just think they were doing a lot of damage control. I do believe that I heard a long time ago that they were in an open marriage. So I don't know. But before I do that, I want to thank Lady Nika. We had a great time on Lady Nika's panel the other night. I was a guest on her panel and we were talking about mental health, mental illness. Yeah, we was talking about mental illness. It was really good. It was such a broad topic. An hour and a half is nowhere near enough. But we did talk about some things and we had some people share their stories. So it was, we had a little, I don't know. I believe whatever the job was for us to do, we did it. Whether we did it for 5 or 500 people, I believe that we did what we were sent there to do. And so it was a really good time. But we are going to continue to do that. In fact, I'm going to start on Jim. Oh God, y'all, I'm telling you, I was running late. I'm going to start over there on my new SGEMZTALK in a few days. And we're going to do another panel about mental illness and we're going to do some other things over there. So hopefully I'll get that channel off the ground this week. But anywho, this is going to be an open panel. Yeah. So people could come up if they want to and they could talk about. I like to do a debate type thing, a pro and a con about love, about open relationships, because you know more and more people are really going, well, I guess they gravitating towards open relationships. I mean, I can't do it. You know, I just can't do it. But you know, some people believe in that. So more and more people are gravitating towards there. Personally, I like a monogamous relationship, and that works for me. But then I don't know, whatever works for you, you do it. That's how I say. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit, but I wanted it to be like a debate type thing. So I need somebody, if they don't mind, we'll let a few more people come on. I wanted them to a pro and a con. And what does love really mean? What does a marriage mean to people? So I wanted to do it like that. So I want to let a few more people come on. I'll just say, really, B, let's see what you're talking about. Oh, okay. We will do a really, B, because we could go outside now. I've been researching more. Oh, yeah. Pizarro, that's interesting. Very interesting. Hello, exclusively me. So I want to. I don't know if we'll get a lot of response on this live today, because I think other people are live. And then, you know, if you're not hooping and howling and dragging people here, then it's just not it's not overly crowded. That's the truth. It's just not overly crowded. But I think it's interesting because if I'm not mistaken, in reference to an open relationship and open marriage, I thought I heard years ago that Will and Jada had an open marriage. I didn't understand it. You know, I don't know, I don't like to say weird, but I think they're just different. You know, you hear all sorts of things. At first, you know, I heard that they had this open marriage. Then Tasha K, long time ago, broke the story about her and August Alsina. Then I saw where Will Smith had you know, he had another woman, and they were openly together. So I don't know. I can't expound on it because I really didn't see. But I want to talk about it because, you know, hey, some people believe in it. I personally don't go for it. So if you want to talk about that, or you want to be one to debate it, I will drop the link. That it was strictly like a debate thing. I just want to hear the pros and cons and your beliefs on this relationship. Not so much about Will and Jada, but just in general about an open relationship. And let's see. Hey, Goddess, how are you? How are you, love? So I don't know. I thought they did as well. Yeah. That's not my thing, but to each his own. Yeah, I can't handle it. I wouldn't be good at it. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't like to share. I don't even like to share my cookies or cakes or chips or food. So I know I definitely don't like to share my man. So I'm not sure if that works. I guess, you know, it's crazy because I used to watch Sister Wives, and for some reason I really liked that show. You know, I didn't understand how those women could be married to just Cody, this one man. But you know, biblically, I want to say, and in some cultures and religions, having more than one wife is definitely not taboo, is acceptable. I work with this gentleman, and he's from what part of Africa? But he believes, he said he wouldn't do it, but he said culture wise, that's what they believe in, and he doesn't see anything wrong with it. But it wouldn't be his choice to have more than one wife. But again, I think with all the cheating that's going on in relationships, more and more people are just gravitating towards, you know, having more than one wife. Now, I don't hear it too much about women having more than one husband, but I definitely hear a lot about men having more wives than one. So I don't know. I couldn't imagine sharing my husband. Me either, Goddess. I just couldn't do that. I'm sorry. That show was like watching the train wreck. Can't turn away. I know, and for some reason, I used to like that. I used to like sister wives. I don't know. For one, I don't know how you could equally love and support more than one wife. I couldn't understand that. And I think at one point when they had brought Robin in, remember Robin was the latest wife, the youngest one. I believe Mary and a couple of them really got jealous. They didn't show it too much on the show, but remember Mary had sought out to find someone else. Yeah, she was that on site. She had got like catfish. So I don't know if she was tired of doing the sister wives thing, because I thought at the beginning she decided along with Cody that they wanted to invite someone else into their marriage. So I don't know, but I would love to hear someone debate this. I know someone's gonna come on here and be bold enough where they could, to tell us a pro and a con. I already said I'm a con. I don't believe in it, and I wouldn't be able to do it. How common is actually, yeah, it's hidden, and most times they have to live in secrecy, right? Because married, uh, what they call it, not bigotry. No, yeah, bigotry. No, is it bigotry? I'm trying to think. It's not acceptable in the United States. Am I right? Right. You only could be married to one wife. I'm just trying to think. Hopefully, I think that's what it is. But you only could be married to one wife in the United States. So he had to divorce Mary to marry Robin. But Mary had started cheating. So I don't know if she was exactly enjoying that sister wives thing at the end. Seemed like the other ladies was okay. I think they were a little jealous. Yeah, I would definitely get jealous. I'm telling you, I would get jealous. Yeah. Yeah, I would. I would have a problem with it. So I wouldn't agree to no nonsense like that. But then, let's talk about this so we could, talk about some things. So many, I don't know the statistics, so I hate to say so many, but there's quite a few people out there in relationships already with bigotry. I was right. Thank you, S. Jones. Um, where their husbands and the wives are cheating. So, and they know. Believe me, I believe a lot of people know. I think they're all right with it until they cross a certain point. It puts me in the remind me of Wendy Williams. See, I always believed that Wendy Williams knew about Sharina. I really did. And that's another one Tasha K broke, but I believe she knew about her, but I believe they had rules. And once he crossed the line and had that baby with that girl, that's when Wendy Williams was embarrassed, humiliated, and she sought a divorce. But I believe she knew it. Because women and men, you get women, especially women, we get these gut feelings. And I always say a lot of times, when something is nagging at my spirit and my gut, I tend to believe it. And so I believe that Wendy Williams knew. I always believed that she knew. It was just an agreement. And once the agreement was broken amongst the two of them, then she had to come out in public like that. But I really, really do I do believe that women nowadays are really settling, and in their mind, some man or half a man is better than no man at all, because it's getting tougher and tougher for women to find men. And I don't know why, but you got a lot of single women out here. And then some people stay in marriages because of two things. One is cheaper to keep her, and two, it's better to have, I guess, a husband and not have one at all, or a wife to not have one at all. So I know that cheaper to keeper thing is for real. I can tell you that's for real. Once you make an investment and you spend so many years together and you guys have built something, no one wants to lose. because you both invested in something. So, and you don't want to lose. But I do believe in my heart of hearts that no relationship has lasted over a certain amount of years, have been all peaches and cream, all happiness. I believe a lot of marriages have survived through some things, and they just continue to really take their vows very serious in sickness and in health till death do us apart. I believe some people still believe in those words when they get married. Those marriage vows are strong to them. Nowadays, I think it's just a little different. They just don't care. So many divorces, so many broken homes, so many fatherless children. It's just is the way. It's just the way of the world now. And you know, you have people that believe you, hey, what is it? Why buy the cow? Wait, why buy the cow when you could have the milk free? And other, why marry someone if someone is giving you all that you want and you don't have a commitment to them? So I don't know. I just think a little different. I'm an old-fashioned girl. I believe in marriage. I really do. I don't believe in shacking up with anyone. I don't believe in investing anything with anyone that's not committed to me. And nowadays people do it and they don't think anything about, they buy homes together, they have bank accounts together, they live together, even if it's not in a purchase home, they do everything together but tie the knot, get married. So I don't know, but I don't believe that a lot of marriages that's people who've been married over so many years have always been happy. I think they just managed to work it out to stay married. Now, I don't believe that a person should stay in a marriage if it's an abusive relationship. Now, that's what I really don't get into, how people stay in abusive relationship. But I have had conversation with many people who has been in abusive relationships and they remain there for some reason. I never forget when I started this channel, a young lady came in the chat one day and she wanted to talk to me, and she sent me an email behind the scenes, and she was telling me that she wanted to share her story, that she had stayed with her children's father even after she had stabbed him and did some jail time. She went back to him and she wanted to come on the platform and tell her story, but I was fairly new and I've never heard from her again. From time to time, I see where she'll like a video of mine, but I don't see her too much. But she wanted me to allow her to share her story. Hey, Queen. But again, I never heard from her after that. But I wanted her to explain to me, because one night we was talking about people burying people in prison and staying with people in an abusive relationship, and she just happened to talk to me about that though. But I really want to get into this because I don't exactly know what to say about this Will and Jada Smith I call bull. And then I'm like Pizarro, I'm a little conspiracy theorist. I believe some of these marriages in Hollywood are made by higher ups. I do. I think people are. I do. I believe they are arranged marriages. I could be wrong because I don't know that to be factual, but I believe it because I believe that's the way it goes in Hollywood. I think, and you know, all this entertainment business, they get married to because the higher ups make them get married. I think it's part of the contract. You know, that's just me. But hello to all who's coming in. We're talking about love and open remarriages and relationship. And I want to get a pro and a con. And I see my co-host up here. And you know, she is one that doesn't mind speaking her mind, and she plays the devil advocate sometimes. So in a few, I'm going to open up the panels and you could come on. But I like someone to be pro marriage and con marriage. I want it to be like a debate thing. I have a couple of questions here, and then we'll go from there. I just think that is interesting. That's okay, Goddess. How are you? I saw you. Let's see. No marriage is always happy. It's how you work through the sad moments, but cheating is my line, so I couldn't imagine that. Yeah, I know, Goddess, but I know that a lot of times when people are in a marriage, and just say for instance, even in our families, and we hear about it and we know about it, and sometimes we just don't say anything about it to, the respective people. I do believe that when someone is cheating. A woman just has that gut feeling. I think they just choose to ignore it until something extreme happens. So, Andre, you gonna come up? Not black and white, in my opinion. Oh, true. Goddess, you want to come up? We need someone else. Duchess, someone come up. I'm going to drop the link. And I have a couple of questions, and I like to talk. I like for us to get into some things. But the concept of getting someone back is toxic. Yeah, I had someone. Yeah, you guys, this next channel, this Jim's channel, we're going to discuss a lot of this stuff. But for now on, you guys, because I just want to tell you that I will be doing lives, but I don't think I would be scheduling them far in advance of the lives of when I'm going to go on. If I drop it, it may be 10 to 15 minutes prior to me going live. No more pre-scheduled lives like that. I know it sounds crazy, but if most people will get the notification, if they come, they come. But I think I'm going to back away for a minute from scheduling a lot of my pre-scheduled lives. I'm just going to drop them, and that's how they're going to go. And hopefully people will join me. I'm pro mind my business. I don't get involved in folks' marriage. Well, I get that. We're not saying get involved in people's marriage, Duchess. We were talking about open relationship and open marriages. Everyone can voice their opinion. I don't care. I don't get in people's marriages as well. Got you. I got you. Okay. So what's the name of your other page? Oh, hold on while you ask. You guys, make sure you like this video, share, and don't forget to subscribe to this page. That's my other page, Mz.Teavalocity's SGEMZTALK. And hey, Treeby Jams, that's where we'll be doing a couple of lives that I'm getting it set up this week. I'm off for work. I'm on a little vacay. So I will be setting it up over there. But again, I'm going to drop this link, invite you all. Remember, I got a couple of questions for you, and we'll get this thing started. Yeah, I don't care about anyone's business in their marriage, sweetheart, because that's their marriage. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors, so I don't get involved with people in their marriage. But, oh, okay, my bad. Okay, yeah. But I like to know, because you have let me tell you something. We have all types of people in this sector, from different walks of life, with different views, different opinions, and it's okay. But I just know I have someone in here who believes in open marriage or relationship, and then I have someone in here who doesn't believe in it, and I just want to hear from the two of them. So I dropped the link. You're welcome to come on up. So when you're ready, and then we'll start. I think, was it Goddess? Don't worry about it, Tree. What's going on? Was it Goddess? I know Andrea says she'll come up. Boy, we really had a good time at Lady Nika's. I really enjoyed that panel. That's a much needed topic. We really need to start talking about positive things and topics that's going to affect in our community and ourselves, and trying to help and reach out to people. The resources are going to get narrower, and sometimes it's just a matter of someone having someone else to talk to, you know, in reference to them being depressed or feeling some type of being alone. So hopefully we could reach out to some people here. Here they go. I see you, baby girl. I see you now. I'm gonna hold on, put this up right quick. I see one of them. Hi, Andrea. There you are. Producer, that's you, right? Is that you, Goddess?
Yep.
All right, let's go, ladies. Welcome to the platform. Hold on, let me move this. Hi, that's my producer. Hello, beautiful.
Hello, how are you guys?
Oh, that's a lot of hair. Hello, other
Yes, it
beautiful
is.
guys. You look beautiful. That's my
Thank you.
producer, Andrea. Andrea, you want to talk about it?
Talk about this situation here, not the Jada stuff, but
No, no,
the
no,
just
no,
the
no.
situation. Yeah, I do want to talk about it because I have some thoughts I'd like to
Goddess?
share.
Okay, thank you. Goddess, are you pro or con?
I'm
And
pro.
you pro? You
Oh,
pro for?
good.
Oh, okay. You pro
No,
for?
no, 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 no. I'm pro marriage.
Oh,
Oh,
I was
Look,
like, what
let
in
me
the
correct
world?
that. Hold
I was
up.
about, I was about to say, we have a taker. We have a taker. She's
Mm-mm.
pro marriage. That's okay.
Mm-mm.
Then we
Mm-mm.
can do that. So you believe in marriage?
Yep.
What about you, producer? You believe in marriage?
yes, yes. I believe in marriage. I also believe in situations come up, so I'm like I'm less likely to judge people, and I know that we're not being judgmental, but I'm always like, well, let's think about this a little bit differently. So but I am pro marriage. I love love. I love to see people happy. I love to see
Mhm.
people at their very best.
And Goddess, you're married. You pro marriage, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think about open marriages or open relationships in general?
I'm,
I don't. Me personally, I feel like if you are in love with somebody, like deep in love, y'all are best friends, y'all went through stuff together. I don't ever see me being with someone else. Like, I just feel like it's kind of disrespectful, because I feel like if you really love the person to the core like you say you do, you
Mhm.
wouldn't even want to put yourself in that position or have a situation like that happen, because I would feel disrespected, and then I would feel like I'm disrespecting my spouse also.
Yeah, I agree with that. If you really love somebody, I can't see myself being in an open relationship. Okay, so I take it you've been married. You're married, right?
Yes, yep.
You respect your marriage. Hold on, because we got really B coming up here. So, ladies, give me a minute. I'm looking for a con, you guys. We looking for a con girl. Hold on, or a guy. Hey, this is
I
not
think
gender
you
bias.
struggle with the cons because just us as a community, it's we're not really typically for that kind of stuff.
Hold on. Okay, Andrea, you correct. Let me make sure this really B. Is that you, really B? Oh, that's really B. Hey, really B. Jump on up here, girl, and tell us what you think. Hey, really B. Welcome to the platform.
Hey
What's going on?
everybody, how y'all doing?
I'm
Good.
doing well.
Hello.
You pro or con?
I'm for me personally,
I think you
I'm
struggle
not
with the
into.
con.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm talking about really B. Sorry, Miss Andrea. Go ahead. What you say, really B?
No, I was saying for me personally, I'm not. I'm not into. Oh, I don't do sharing. I can't do it. I don't think my psyche could handle sharing. But I do have friends who are in alternative lifestyles, and so that was sort of the mindset I was thinking, because it works for them.
Wow.
I have
What?
friends who they're swingers, and they do their thing, and there are rules that they follow, and it works for them, and they've been married. I have friends who've been married in an alternative lifestyle. They've been married longer than some of my friends who were in, traditional marriages. So I think it's individual at this. I really think it's individual.
Yeah, I believe. Go ahead, Andrea. What was you gonna say? Sorry. Go ahead,
Oh, it's no. I just accidentally jumped in. It's okay.
Andrea.
I go ahead and start with your question.
Okay, well, here's my question. First one, um, and this could be pretty tough, but define it in your term, in your words. Define being in love, Andrea. You'll be the first one.
Oh God.
Oh,
I
great.
know.
Okay. Well, so I'm a little different. For me, it's not the passion. You have that what I call the rookie stage where you're just like, oh, your hormones are going, they're saying the right things, they're doing everything that you like at that time. Um, and then as time goes on, the love happens. And I really subscribe to what the Bible says. And like when I'm looking at a person, like my spouse, when I was looking, I had to put that in the equation. Is he patient? Is he kind? Does he keep count of wrongs? Those type of things. Like, because love is a healer, it's merciful. It's not firecrackers and passion, because that passion leads to drama sometimes. You gotta be attracted, but you gotta see if this is the long run. So love to me is not so much what they give to me, it's what I'm able to give to them. I want to create a mirror.
Wow.
This is how you love me, is
Mm.
how it's not so much, what you're doing for me. It's about me trying to be my best so that I can give you my best. That's, to me, that's what love is.
Goddess. Thank you, Andrea. Goddess. Just in your define it, there's no perfect answer here. Go ahead, Goddess.
Okay, so I was thinking, so while she was talking, I was trying to form the words in my head, and I feel like love is about compromise. That's first and foremost, and then communication, because at the end of the day, we all go through stuff in our relationships. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be an argument, and I'm just speaking on my case. Like, I've been with my husband since 2011. So by us both working together to want to please one another, to listen without reacting, and listening to understand instead, I feel like that's what love is. Love is you showing just as much respect for the person as the other, and open communication across the board. You know what I'm saying? And then loyalty lies within a marriage and within a relationship, because if you cannot talk to your partner, you're never going to be on the same page. Like, I remember at the beginning of my relationship, arguments, but now it's like, even when we argue, it doesn't even last long, because we're willing to put our pride to the side and say, you know what, I see where you're coming from, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? And we keep it moving. And a lot of people base love today off of how much money you got, or I don't like the way your ears
Yeah.
shaped. And it's like, it's way more deeper than that. You have to
Deeper,
be able
yeah.
to be there when a person is crying on your shoulder, with you both
Ooh.
healing from past tense stuff that y'all have been through, but on both parts. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Because until y'all can actually open up and be real front and center with each other, you will never know what real love is.
Oh, good
Because
one.
that person has to love you. And I'm gonna say this real quick, because
Go
I
ahead.
almost died twice. So I'm actually speaking from experience. And then I also had 3 miscarriages. You know what I'm saying? And we were able
Wow.
to cry and lean on each other. Like, it's been times I didn't want to get out the bed, and he, make me food. He's trying to make me feel better. That's what marriage is. That's what love is. Because it's a person that, I don't care if you got a wig on, if you shave bald. I don't care if you gain weight tomorrow or lose it. I'm still going to be here. That's true love to me.
Wow. Really, B, your turn.
I said a lot, my bad.
No, God is good. Good. I was listening, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Go ahead, really, B. I know.
Right, it's kind of hard to come behind that one.
I know. Like, oh.
But I understand what she's saying though. When I think of relationship type love, I'm looking for the yin to my yang. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, the the effortless conversation, the knowing me. I'm not saying perfect because nothing is perfect, and I'm not saying that he's gonna always be that perfect person. Just like I'm not gonna always be that perfect person, but just that effortless. We know each other. We accept each other for who we are. Like she said, whether I'm bald or have a wig, whether he gains a little weight, whether he goes bald, like just that. Undeniable. This is what we have for each other. Like that's what I think of when I think of a life partner. That's what I want.
Life partner. Cool.
I ain't found his ass yet, but I'm sorry, Mz.Teavalocity.
No, go ahead. That's fine.
But that's
hold on. I know. Hold on, because we gonna get to that, you guys. We gonna get to that when you say I haven't found him yet. We're gonna touch on that. Give me a minute to let Duchess on. Okay, ladies, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Duchess? Is that you, my dear Duchess?
That's me. Bootleg in the building.
That's my bootleg co-host. This is my bootleg co-host. Go ahead. Okay, Duchess, what do you want to just jump right in here and tell us what you define love as? Your definition of love, not the book. Your definition of love.
Oh, I was coming up here to be the devil's advocate.
Okay, so hold on. So you gotta hold up. So here's the next one. Okay, so we define love. So it sounds like most of us really believe in love. I do believe in love. Mm-hmm. I believe that there's a divine connection between you and someone, and is an unconditional love. And like really B said, is the yin to my yang, is like a person who balances you, is a person that you feel pleasure, but there's good and bad in all relationships. Mm-hmm. And when you say the yin to my yang, and Goddess was right, you love me just the way I am, unconditionally, and even though at one point, I want to get to that. So that'll be mine. I feel the same way. Is passion, is love, is unconditional, is wanting to compliment me, and I compliment you in different forms and fashions. So I believe in love. So starting with Goddess, do you believe in, we already said that. Hold on, Goddess. So you believe you're in a committed relationship. So now that's where we go into this committed relationship, open relationship, alternative relationship, whatever you want to call it. And we have Duchess who's going to play the devil advocate here. So Duchess, do you believe in an open relationship?
Oh, who's making love to your old lady? Why you making love? Y'all know I had to sing.
Okay, Duchess.
No, sorry. Y'all know that's how I come up on here. Okay, do I believe in an open marriage? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, or open relationship.
Well, if I'm gonna be the devil's advocate, I'll say yes. I personally don't, but I'll just be that person. Yes, whatever works for a couple. If they have an understanding where it's like, all right, this is my month, go get me something on the side, girls like here, take these magnums with you, like be safe, Godspeed, that's their thing. Like I can't knock that. I can't tell them it's wrong, or it works for them.
Yeah, I guess that would be a tough one because I wouldn't be able to do it. But really, B said that she have a couple of couples, and I heard about the swinging thing, and people stay married. I don't know if it's the excitement of, let's go that route. I don't know if it's the excitement of having more than just one flavor of ice cream. I would be the vanilla. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's different ways. Oh, I'm sorry. There's different ways of doing it. You could be a swinger and you could be there with your spouse, or they just be, cheating, quote unquote, just going with somebody else in the motel, and the wife ain't there.
Right. So, okay, so we have Pink Sugar in here. She didn't jump up here. I believe in open marriages if that's what the two of them want. So
it's like kind of what Justice saying.
Yeah, it's like what she said, is whatever you want. But I think most of the ladies on the panel they wouldn't be involved in an open relationship. But let's talk about that swinging thing. Let's go there. Let's go with that swinging thing. I personally can't do it. I've I'm like, really B, I've heard people do the swinging thing. I can't do it. Andrea, what's your take on that swinging?
Okay, taking out the sexual aspect of it, I don't see the purpose for it. But I feel like, again, whatever makes, if that is what you guys define as love, that's fine. I don't see the love in it, because to me, an open marriage becomes a closed marriage. The reason why that marriage is closed to growth, is closed to opportunity, is closed to legacy. And sometimes I believe that people are in what's called a forced, what I call, I don't know if anybody else call it, a forced open marriage, meaning that some of these people out here just swiping left, or whatever it's right, swipe right. I don't know how that goes on the thing, but they're swiping somewhere, and then they don't even know that they're in an open marriage, because the minute someone steps out, that marriage becomes open, whether you agree with it or not, because it's not about permission. People do what they're going to do. And you get into it so deep within that marriage that you cannot just say, oh, I'm gone, I'm walking away, I can't do it. I feel like sometimes you built so much that you look at, okay, do I keep, it's cheaper to keep her, we know the song, go ahead, Dutch, your serenader, serenade us, but it's cheaper to keep the person as opposed to throwing away or giving up what you built over a long term.
Go ahead, Goddess. Duchess, sorry. Duchess.
Okay.
I just want to ask y'all a question, but Goddess can go ahead. I just got a moment.
Well, hold your question. Go, Goddess.
Okay, so in my head, I feel like if you feel like you have to step out and be with somebody else or get pleasure from somebody else, then you shouldn't be in a marriage. It's pretty much that simple to me. If you can't, which goes back to the love situation, if you truly love somebody, I just can't see myself giving myself to anybody else. And then I also would be insecure, because I'll be like, well, why do you want to step out?
Right.
Well, I don't care if you're giving me the permission to do it, or if I'm giving it to you, clearly it's a problem. But if you're bringing it up in the subject, you want to move out and explore, then don't be with me.
What if something was physically wrong with your spouse, though?
That's different.
What that mean? That's what Adam and Eve is for. You can make some stuff up.
But yeah, if they was physically incapacitated, we'll do that one next. Really, B, what's your thought on it?
Well, I think there's like a misunderstanding, I guess, about the difference between what I was talking about as far as people in that lifestyle and an open, like somebody cheating. Like somebody cheating on you, you in an open marriage that you don't know about. But I mean, right. I'm talking about people who voluntarily go, and usually it has a lot to do with their sexuality. They're bisexual, or they identify as bisexual, and they want to have, different group sex or threesomes or things like that. And that's something that they are both okay with. They've both decided that that's what they want. So that's a little different than just your husband cheating on you or your wife cheating on you, and now you're in a forced open marriage. But I mean, for myself, again, I believe in the traditional tenets of marriage. I think that's part of the problem, is that we're moving into a society where people no longer want to adhere to the traditions and the norms. I mean,
right.
You see that evolving on all levels, even with sexuality. That's why we keep adding all these letters to the spectrum, because there are just so many different aspects of sexuality that people are now saying, this is what I am, this is what I am. So I think it's the same thing we're seeing with marriage. Now, I feel the same way Goddess feels. If you're not ready to commit to one person, then I feel like you're not ready to get married, regardless of what you may enjoy sexually. But that's my opinion,
How about when people are like this couple that, has led to this discussion, they've been in a long-term relationship, their marriage got rocky, and they were on the verge of separation, and for whatever reason, because they have the outward appearances to keep, they gave the public an impression of they are together when they were actually separate. Um, do we feel like that's considered an open marriage, or they were just separated and they both sought whatever they were looking for outside of their marriage, but they did not legally divorce?
You know, I believe this. I believe a lot of times when you're having problems in a marriage or relationship and you don't feel wanted at that moment, because it could change, so it can shift at any time. It depends on the what's going on in the marriage. I do believe that you become vulnerable, and sometime in just a short amount of time you can be in a position that you will cheat. I do believe that, because you become vulnerable. And at that particular time, somebody is telling you something you want to hear, or they doing something you wanted your partner to do at that time. And you just became vulnerable because of the situation. You cheated. Now, you may not ever do it again, but I believe vulnerability plays a big part in the relationship. When you having problems, it's possible that you would go off and have an affair and come back to the marriage. I do believe that.
I just kind of feel like it always back down to the respect part, because trust me, I understand what y'all saying, and like I said, we both going back and forth of the pros and cons, but I just feel like if you have enough respect for a person, that vulnerability is going to go out the window. Because
Really?
once again, yeah, because once again, I feel like I would not, even if, because we all get mad, right? We all get upset, but that goes back to communication, that goes back to respect. Because if you can't talk to your partner in that time about it, even if y'all are upset at each other, then that means that something's not clicking. And then on top of that, for you to even be in that position, which that to me says it already has gone too far.
But I
Okay.
think
The thing that is missing here is a lot of people don't automatically equate love with sex. A lot of people can just split it and they just want the physical act. They just want to get off. I ain't gotta love you. I ain't gotta like you. I ain't gotta know your name. I
Yeah.
just bust one. And a lot of men are like that.
I can't relate, but I'm listening.
And, a lot of people just don't have to be in love. I mean, they don't even have to like the person. Like, that's
That's
why
true.
prostitution is a huge business.
No.
Like, I ain't gotta know you.
can I
That,
ask the I'm sorry, can I ask the age group of the people on the, because I think that has a lot to do with it too. Goddess, I am vibing with you on a lot of what you're saying. And I would also like to just know where we are in our lives. Like, y'all want to know your actual age, please don't
oh
dox,
yeah.
or I'll have to leave the conversation. I don't listen to that doxing
No,
stuff.
you're
But
fine.
I'm within the 40 to 50 age group. So what is your age group?
I just turned
20s to 30?
29 in June.
Did not say I was gonna have to leave the conversation if you told me your exact age. I'm just teasing. Okay, thank you for sharing.
Really, B?
I'm in
What
my
range?
40s. I'm in my 40s.
Okay.
Well, Duchess, my love.
I just turned 72 in April.
Oh, come on, Duchess. Well, anywho,
All right,
Well, good. Thank you for
I'm between
representing.
25 and 50.
Okay,
okay,
we'll take it.
okay. Well, I know everyone. I
And I
know.
could be lying.
Well, we yeah. I've
We'll just
always
consider
told
you a
people.
septarian.
All right, I'm
Yeah,
messing. All right.
I've always told people my age. I don't have a problem. I've always told people I'm 58 years old. I do believe in marriage and commitments and the traditional marriage. That's just the girl I am. Now that leads me to ask you, because we was talking about the open marriage and everybody had no marriage. It doesn't mean, when I was talking about vulnerability or if you having a problem sexually. No, it doesn't mean sexually. It could come in any form. I didn't mean just sexually. I meant sometimes, you could be somewhere and you're having problems with your husband and you're just sitting there and perhaps, well, I don't know if I should say it like this because then, okay, so I'm gonna skip that. But anywho, I don't mean just sexually, you guys. Somebody could be there mentally for you just to talk to you. So that's considered cheating too, not just
Mm-hmm.
the act of sex. It could be mentally. Someone you talking to, you telling all your business, you vibing with them. You don't have to have sex for it to be considered cheating, okay? So I didn't mean it in the reference of sexually. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted you guys to know that. So we already said that we don't believe it. Why do you think, and we'll start with Really BTV, because you say you hadn't found someone, you guys. Why do you think it's so hard for people to find partners, husbands, or whatever you want to call them, boyfriends? Why do you think we have such a hard time, really be in today's society? I think I heard someone answer it before because it depends on the generation, because people don't believe in committed relationships and marriages. So you having to find, a lot of women are having a hard time finding a man. Why do you think that is, Really BTV? I'll start with you.
I honestly don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I wish I had that answer. I'd probably be a millionaire. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's
Well,
go ahead.
who are you going to next? I'll
We
wait.
can go to Duchess. Duchess, I don't know if
Yes.
you, yeah. Why do you think that so many women are out here single and they having a hard time finding a mate?
Um, because why is a dude gonna put a ring on it when he's getting it for free?
Why
A
buy the
lot of
cow?
a lot. I mean, a lot of these girls are not holding on to the cat,
Yeah,
and so like they're getting husband privileges without having to put a ring on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get to stay up in your house, you cook for me, you clean, and I pay some bills and I get some booty, and we are living like we're married, but we're not. So why would he, risk it all, so to speak? It's a
wow.
financial. I mean, that's the way I see it. I mean, people have it, whole families, and it's like, why?
Yeah, I
That is
think
true.
that was my
The
thing when I
standards
said,
have lowered so dramatically. It's just
wow. I want to get into that. That's deep, but I'm wondering why. And I just said earlier, why buy the cow when you could have the milk for free? And that's in relation to what you just said, Duchess. Because when people are shacking up, having babies, living together, paying bills, and so they don't believe in commitment. So I think it's easier for those type of people to cheat. I really do, because they're not committed to anything.
hmm
But hold on, I want to I believe Pink Sugar. I'm gonna I dropped the link for you if you want to come on. If that's what you asking me, is it too late for you to come on? No, sweetheart. Uh, go ahead, Andrea. It was your turn, love.
Oh, uh-oh. I'm sorry. Can you say the question again? I was typing in the
No,
chat.
I was saying, why do you think it's so hard for women to find men
I,
nowadays?
I don't quite think it's really for me. I don't see it as being difficult to find a man. It could be difficult to find the man that's going to work with you and you can grow together, being that um you have to really know yourself. A lot of times you don't really know what you're wanting. You gotta look at the simple stuff like how they look, what money they make, XYZ, how easy they are, the low hanging fruit, whatever. However, those are not always the men that you really can go the long haul with, who you can build that foundation with to grow from. So um that's the issue, is that it's easy access. So if you are what they consider a difficult woman, a demanding woman, which is not true, they just have requirements for themselves. then it will appear to be hard. But the thing is, you don't give up. You don't quit looking. You don't quit waiting for that person. You just continue to work with yourself, and that person will come, you know? So I don't really think that it's so much difficult. It's just hard to maintain your boundaries, and you waste time with a bunch of fool-la-la. That is my opinion on that one.
Okay. Pink Sugar just joined us, and Pink Sugar wanted to get in on this conversation. Go ahead, Pink. Jump in there.
Hello.
Hi, beautiful.
So
How are you?
I'm doing great. This was a great discussion because so many people have different opinions about it. But for me, when I met my current husband, I was very happy being single. That wasn't a problem at all. And when we started dating, and I noticed that he liked to continue to get a lot of attention, I told him, you know, if that's the kind of relationship we're going to have, then that's not a problem. We can address, we can adjust, we can have that kind of relationship. Of course, he said no, that's not what he wanted. But but I told him, you know, if you ever get an itch, let me know, because you know I'm over here being good, and I don't think it's right. If you want to play, I want to play too.
Meow.
So, but I haven't
Oh,
had that problem. You know, it
oh,
hasn't come to that.
okay. So you
But
saying, oh, go ahead. Sorry, Pink. Go ahead.
yeah, but if ever I found out, or if ever he came to me like, hey, you know, I want to step outside,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm like, okay, I'm all for it, as long as you understand I'm doing the same thing.
Oh, okay. As long as you guys are equal, you don't mind. Okay,
Yep,
that's understandable. Okay, that's
yep.
understandable.
Now I do have friends that were married, and they were swingers, and
Swingers,
that
yeah.
went fine for a while. And his reasoning for that was he was much older than her, and he said because he married her at such a young age, he wanted her to be able to go out and explore, but he
Oh,
wanted to be aware of what was going on. The
oh,
thing
okay.
was, while they were doing that, having fun with men and women, you know, of course, there was an agreement. As long as I know what's going on, you good. But she started doing something behind his back.
Oh,
And so that put a strain on the relationship. And then she ended up getting pregnant.
Oh,
And so
mm,
yeah. So
oh,
they
yeah,
ended up divorcing.
yeah.
But,
Things could
you
go.
know,
Yeah, things could go. So I know we already said that about the open relationships, and we got the pros and the cons and all that. Now this threesome thing came up in here, and I guess I'm going here because of what Pink Sugar just said, that whoever was into the swinging thing, really B said about the swinging thing. So I guess that would be really tough for me, because what if that person become pregnant by someone else? I wonder how would they accept that? That would be a tough blow for me.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
You
is
But
know,
God
see, the
still
thing
up here?
was,
go
they,
ahead,
I'm sorry.
Pink.
Go on.
the thing,
I'm here.
the thing with that relationship, they weren't going to have any kids between the two of them. So had she talked to him and been open about what was going on because she desired a child, they probably could have worked it out. But because of the way it all went down, you know, they broke that trust.
Well, okay, so I'm sorry, I don't want to jump all over the place, because I see a couple of comments about the marriage isn't sacred anymore. And I was saying, I wonder why is it so tough? There's so many single women out here, beautiful women,
I
college
don't
educated.
agree.
Wait, you don't agree with what? I wasn't finished, but who said I don't agree?
No, not you. I was reading a comment. Sorry.
Oh, oh, okay. It just baffles me to see so many strong. Well, I don't know how strong it was. So many women, and when I relate to women, you guys, please don't get offensive when I say black women. But I am a black woman, so I refer to my community. Okay, a lot. There's nothing against other races or none. I just refer to my community because I am a black woman. But there's so many black women out here, well-educated black women. Women are well put together in general, have something to offer, and they're single, and they've been single for a long, long time. And I just wish, or I want to know, what is the problem? Why is there so many single women out here? And I guess that's tough to answer because we really don't know. But statistic wise, I don't have the statistics, but I know there is a lot of single black women, and why. So I don't know.
It's like the black women are becoming like very educated and, higher income levels. And some of us can be, materialistic and do not want a man that makes less than them. So they'll put standards on it, like I ain't gonna marry no garbage man and all that kind of stuff. But you could be missing out on a really good dude.
I'm
you
gonna
know?
tell you that, and
Absolutely.
Yep.
that's the truth. Go ahead, goddess. I'm gonna tell you that. I
Whew,
believe that's
child.
what's happening. We are setting our standards so high, and there's nothing wrong. If you make six figures, there's nothing wrong with you wanting a man to make six figures. But just because he makes six figures doesn't mean he's the right one for you. I remember when I started out in my marriage, we was having some tough times. I'm talking about some tough times. But as our marriage continued to grow, and we grew together and we made things happen. We reached goals that was obtainable that we wanted to reach. We built our own family and we did quite well for ourselves. But it didn't start out like that. It didn't start out like that. So I don't think we should always look for the man that has the 9 to 5 that's making six figures. It could
Yeah.
be a man with less. I believe that when two people are joined together, they build.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what I believe in. I don't think it's always a money factor, but I don't want someone that I have to take care of either. But I want you to bring something to the table. And most women are really making a nice, sum of money when the men aren't making as much. But do that means you have to be manless because he doesn't make as much as you do? I think sometimes we are setting high standards, and that could be a problem. But you go ahead and
Yeah.
answer, really, B. What do you think?
I do. The thing is, I do think that there are standards, and I don't think, like you said, I don't think it's wrong to have a standard, but I also think that whatever you are willing to bring to the table, you should be able to require as well. So you say, well, he need to be this and he need to be that. Are you that? Is that what you bring to
Mhm.
the table? I
Yeah.
think that, and I mean, I'm not trying to, I don't know if I want to go too deep, but I also think that we're not raising the same caliber of man where
Oh,
if
Mhm.
are you the kind of man that, like,
oh,
if your woman is bringing more into the household, are you willing to pick up an extra job and make sure that you picking up whatever slack? Are you willing to do what it takes to rise to the occasion? For me, Black women have always been a double minority, and so a lot of times when we go back to the
mm,
70s and we look at filling quotas, they always fit that quota. So there have been a lot of times where Black women made more money than the Black man. But did you allow that to be? Were you okay with that? Like, were you okay with your husband just bringing in all of the money? And I just think that, I know for myself, I have standards, and I'm not willing to settle, and I'm not willing to accept less than what I feel like I deserve. But I don't think that my standards are unrealistic. They're not materialistic, and I don't think they're unrealistic.
mm. Okay. Aisha, I was okay. Did someone else want to speak on that? Because I want to
Um,
transition it. Go ahead.
I want to say this, and I'm gonna have to drop off. But I
Oh,
just sorry. But I feel like it comes to a lot of people being shallow,
Mhm.
and it also comes from us being trained to think. And I talk about this all the time. Us as young girls, when we grew up, we seen all of these cartoons where they had like this perfect fairy tale,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying,
Right.
relationship. And so that's embedded in us since young. Well, meanwhile, on the other side, boys are getting taught to leave women. They're getting taught to play with women. They trying to run up numbers. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of double standards when it comes to that. You know, and I feel like because and I'm gonna say this. When I used to do Uber, I used to hear the most vague comments ever of why they didn't give somebody a chance. You know what I'm saying? Or people broke up because, oh, they farted. Like,
Mhm.
what?
Oh,
And I'm
just
talking about
yeah.
once you get in the relationship, right?
Uh-huh.
I gotta make something funny. But anyway,
They farted.
you know,
Uh-huh.
I've heard people say stuff as little as that, and it's like, so what do you want them to do? Like, and it's just so irritating because I, even though I'm young, I do see the generation and how they're raising the people now, where it's like eh, to even get respect at this point is unimaginable. But I also feel like if you cannot first love yourself and go through your own closet and start healing yourself, is no way that you will be able to start a relationship with someone, and that's on both
Absolutely.
ends.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these brothers were raised, by single mothers in broken homes, and
But
Yeah.
thank you, I have to go, but I'll be in the
Thank you
chat.
so much, guys. I think, Duchess, you touched on something too. I just believe that so many young men or men are being raised by single moms and they don't see that household. They don't see that unit. And it's very tough when you don't see the unit. And it's just a lot of things going on, in our areas. A lot of broken homes, and so they don't see that unit. They don't see that bond. They're not being taught that responsibility. Like back in the day, you knew that a husband role was one place, was one thing, and a wife's role was another. And I think now it's just a little different, and it is what it is. But someone had a good point here. I wanted to get back to it. Somebody said something. Kay Edwards, Kay Edwards went into that swinger thing too. I don't want to jump all over the place, but Kay Edwards was talking about that. But my next question: are we finished with this one? In reference to,
Well,
go
I,
ahead.
I want to say something. I
Sure,
think
go ahead.
that I think that some of us, those who can do it, should change the way we think about parenting because my boys live with their father.
Mm-hmm.
He has just as much responsibility as I do. And so when we split, it wasn't automatic that I became a single mother or that they lived with me. They went with him because he needs to teach them, he needs to train them. I can give them the nurturing on the weekend, but the other 5 days, they need to be with him. And my boys are great. They do well in school, very respectable, and they know what their position is and what they need to do. And I think that a lot of times women don't consider that. It's like
Yeah,
automatic, I'm stuck with the kids. No, you're not
yeah,
stuck with the kids. Send him to his father. Let him stay over there. And
right.
I know for us, we had one of my boys, we had therapy regularly. And
Mm-hmm.
when we had therapy, the therapist looked at me like I was crazy. And it was a white man. And he said to me, he lives with who? I'm like, his father. He lives with his father.
Right.
Well, why doesn't he live with you? Why do you think he needs to live with me? Well, because you're his mom and he's his father. He's a man. He's a male. That's who he needs to be with. And he kind of like wanted to fight me about it until he got to understand the whole unit. And then he realized, oh, yeah, he should be with his father. And I think that should be encouraged.
That's yeah. Yeah, a lot of people will have a hard time, especially being a mother. But Pink, that's a perfect that's the right thing to do, because you cannot teach a man to be a man. You could nurture and
Absolutely
love him,
not.
but you can't teach him to be a man. And there's nothing wrong with your husband or a child going with their father for them
Nope.
to help raise them in the right direction. Hold on.
Yep.
Let me
You went all boys in the hood on them. You said, go live with your father. Serious
Yep.
time.
bless
Yep.
you. Go ahead.
Bye. See you on Friday.
But nothing's wrong with that. But a lot of people will look down on that. But that would be the right thing to do, you know.
Yep.
So, but
Because they're teenagers now,
um,
and they're good.
and they good to go. They good to
Yep.
go. Go
I
ahead,
have a
Andrea.
question. I have a question. So, staying with the kind of keeping with the topic of open marriages, if you saw my fingers, you'd see them making quotation marks. Um, just situations happen in life. And what about, I read in a magazine a long time ago about a couple. They were in it, still legally married, still raising children, and they lived like in different, one lived in an apartment building, another one lived in a house like down the road or whatever. And they were talking about how they were able to make their marriage work. Now at the time I was like, that's just too much, that's just waste of money, that's a waste of time, but that's what worked for them. Could
Hmm.
any of you, if the marriage became where you just couldn't live together, um, you had a legacy built or whatever, could you imagine being, and you really, and they genuinely liked each other, they were like kind of like that, oh, we really like each other, we're just not, we just don't, we're just not sexually attracted, we're just not wanting to be married, but they're friends. Could you
Oh
imagine
yeah.
being in a relationship of that nature?
Oh yeah. I can tell you, my second husband and his wife, they come here for Thanksgiving. We
But
do things together.
well, that's a three, that, well, I know that y'all not doing a threesome, but
No,
say
no,
you
no. It's
guys
four of
are
us. It's
still
four of
married,
us.
okay? So, but when the open marriage, so this relationship, they were still legally married. They didn't have, they had outside people, but it was very discreet. It was not the case of one said, hey, I cannot live with you. I love
I could
you.
do
You're
it.
my friend, but we are not going to be together. And occasionally we will date and we have these rules. I
Hmm.
read that in a magazine. It was totally outside of my paradigm, but I'm just curious what other people think about it.
For me, I love myself. I love me. I love hanging out with me. I love spending time with me. I don't need to be around anybody else to have a good time. So yeah, I can see myself doing that.
Mm.
It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, we get along, we're great friends, but we can't live together. What the
You
hell?
Yeah,
need
that could
space.
happen.
They didn't expound on why. It was just, they just found that it was better for them not to live together. They still had children, raising children, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't get it. It was totally outside of the realm of my thinking. But it always stuck in my head. It was
Hmm.
one of those groupie, not groupie, what do you call them? Yuppie type couples.
Yeah, I'm not interested
Yeah.
in that.
Yep.
I'm
Me
not
either.
interested in that type of marriage. Again, to each his own, but I'm not interested in that.
I tell you though, yeah, I'm not interested in either. No, I wasn't gonna say that. I'm not interested, but I do believe that you could be great friends with your exes and
Hmm.
raise your children together is very healthy for them. If it's not for you,
Yep.
it's healthy for them. Sometimes you can't always agree about everything and live together, but you definitely could do what's right for your children to make sure that you raise them in a healthy, balanced way. That's what you prefer separate houses. You would prefer separate houses. Yeah. Some people, you guys, like Andrea say, some people live together to this day, you know, and it's all right. It works for them. I think it goes back to what we were saying earlier. Whatever works for you, right?
I guess.
I like to know how people get to that point. Like some thoughts. And like I've thought about finances. I thought of we're going to
Yep.
stay together for the sake of the children. I
Yep.
thought of it's better than a piece than nothing. I thought about the pressures of society, where someone put in the chat, Some people get married just for the title, and I have so much to say about that, but we're gonna stay on topic. It is
No,
a
it's a free flow.
it's a reason why some people make that choice. And like I heard someone say, I love myself, but that doesn't I know what how you were saying it, Pink Sugar, but some people say, and I've said it, I love myself too much, I'm too good to cheat and stay in a relationship, blah 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 blah. And then I have to think on the other side of things, someone who has chosen an open marriage I may not think they love themselves, but they're probably saying the same thing. I love myself enough to not, to explore options. They have that, what is that called? Pansexual people. Is that right? Where they just kind of just spread it all over the place, or no, it's not that. It's
polyamorous.
Yeah, that's it. Polyamorous. And there are some people who sincerely believe to the death that is how they were created. So it's interesting. I always wonder, how did you get to that thought process? Was it taught to you, or did you arrive there?
That actually reminds me of the question I was gonna ask. Like,
go ahead.
Do you guys really think or believe that a man can be monogamous?
That's a good question, Duchess. That's a good question. Just let it flow.
They can be.
You really big. Oh, go ahead. What you say, Pink Sugar?
I'm talking about in the prime 30s.
Maybe they don't want to.
I think it's tough for men. I don't know.
Yeah. They probably don't want to. It's probably killing them.
I'm just kind of jaded at this point.
It's possible.
Like, I almost expect it. Just don't let me find out, and don't let me catch nothing, because then I'm going bobbing on you.
Andrea, what you think? You think Duchess?
I think people can, because see, to me, being monogamous is a choice. It's a choice. Right. So if a man, I can't just say all men. I can say if it's a man and they choose based on their values, the way they move, they can be monogamous. I know for me, I don't want all that extra. I mean, if I'm already arguing with you, I really don't want to spend time arguing with somebody else. I'm just not in the mood. So it's just extra stress. But I do believe, and that's my choice, is to not have so much, not be in stressful situations. I don't like all that secrecy and stuff. So it's my choice. And I can choose the other way too. I think it's how you want to be. You choose. Nobody makes you do anything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at Kay Edwards and Kay Edwards need to come up here.
Yeah, you guys, I don't know if that's the real Kay Edwards else. Kay been with us a long time now. Kay got all kind of things in here. It's tough for me. I'm a cheater. Some people really are, though.
That is Kay. That is her. That is her.
Kay, you want to come up here? Kay, I would love to hear from you, because it is hard to be monogamous.
She was out there swinging. She said she a cheater. Come on up in here. We want to hear your story.
Kay, we want to hear your story, but not to take away from other people. But you seem like you're an interesting person, Kay.
Kay said she's free.
I don't think it's just men that have a hard time with it.
No, it's women too. It's more and more women.
Absolutely.
That's cheating too. I just think that they're not getting what they want at home. I don't think it's so much that they want to go out and cheat. I believe sometimes the marriage become weakened. We don't hang in there, and we're not respected, like God has said earlier, and things happen, you guys. I really do believe that it's not our intentions to go out and cheat, but things happen. I don't think it's your intentions to go out and cheat. You think so?
But I'm stubborn. I am stubborn. I'm a stubborn person. I do not like to be controlled. So everything I do is my intent. It's intentional for me, because nobody, if I'm not getting what I need at home, then it's a reason. I didn't verbalize it. Maybe the person didn't do it. There is a breakdown in a relationship. I feel like any relationship, whether it's work, every type of relationship, you set the ground rules for the relationship. And then if you can't compromise, like God has said earlier, then you have to make that choice, a difficult choice. So no, I don't think people, like Jada kind of said that, like, oh, he was we were trying to help him. And then I became involved in an entanglement. I'm like, no, lady, you are too enlightened to say you got involved, like you just fell in it. No, to me, you start to feel feelings. And at some point, you decide to go further. I'm not better than anybody else. I've been tempted and I've, thought, I can make this happen. But at the point, you got to count the cost of your choices, and everything you do is intended. You don't just fall in somebody's bed. That is just how I can't let myself go with that.
Yeah, I just beg to differ. I beg to differ.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, but to each his own. I believe that now this is just my belief. I believe that you could become vulnerable. I still believe that. And for whatever reason there is, and maybe someone just at that moment is making you feel right. And you choose to do it. Now, you choose to do it. That's the difference. But I do believe that because we are emotional beings and somehow we're not always balanced in our emotions, I do believe that you could become vulnerable and you can have an affair. I do believe that.
I mean,
That's just me. You still making the choice to have the affair. So you're making a conscious choice. But would you have done that if you wasn't in this vulnerable state? That's just my take on it.
It's morning and the night.
Go ahead, Billy B. TV.
You're gonna get fired, Duchess.
Go ahead, Billy B.
For me, this might be telling too much of my business, but I used to feel that way until it happened to me. And I used to be like, what you mean it just happened? That don't even make no sense. Nothing just happens. You made a decision. You knew what you were doing. Da 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 da. But when it happens to you, I really truly honestly, I can honestly say it just happened. Now that doesn't mean I didn't know what I was doing. That doesn't mean that I wasn't making a bad decision. But when you get caught up, you get caught up.
I do believe that. That's just me. But remember, we are all individual with certain beliefs. And I do believe that you could become vulnerable. And at that point in time, one thing could lead to another. That's just my take.
And I mean, I see where people can get that. It's to me, it's like one choice led to another. And so, and you know what? And this is how, me being vulnerable and just honest, it's my life and I love my life, is I've been cheated on. I got cheated on, and it made it so easy for me to get over it, because I was like, he didn't cheat because of me. He cheated because of him. I didn't do anything to him. So if I sit and say, if I believe that it's because of outside forces, I'm vulnerable because of something someone else is doing, then it was like people were like, oh, you got over that. Yeah, I'm not mad at, I'm not mad at him to this day. It had, your choice was something within you, and it had nothing to do with me. Yes, you have that initial hurt, but not to the point of where you are just, you're beating yourself up. Because to me, this is Andrea, if I really understand that choice was his personal choice and it had nothing to do with me, it stopped hurting me. And even now I'm talking about it, I have no pain. And that's how I came to my thinking. So I do feel like we do put ourselves in situations. I know it's something within us that makes us vulnerable to another person. But even then, you go to that other person, but that thing within you is still unsolved, Hey, I don't judge another woman, man, having an outside relationship. I just wonder, like, what are you going to do to take care of yourself? Because you're the most important part of your life, not the other person.
Yeah, I know it's a very painful thing for a lot of people to talk about being cheated on. But like I said, my belief is that sometimes things could happen in your relationship and you become vulnerable, and one thing leads to another. Just crazy. But you're right, you make those choices. Duchess, you was about to say something. Go ahead, baby.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, Pink
I
wasn't
was
on.
just back here. I was just singing and being foolish.
Oh, oh. So
What makes you vulnerable?
what makes you vulnerable?
Yeah, some ideas.
A
I guess
million things.
Just a
it could
few.
be you you right. Yeah, it could be a lot of things that make you vulnerable. I mean, when you've been married for years and you go through some pretty tough times and you feel as though like your husband don't love you anymore, for whatever reason, you have a man who comes along, just a guy you work with on your job. You're not feeling loved, you're not feeling appreciated, you're not feeling wanted. And that happens in a marriage. I think
Hmm.
for me, you have to learn how to balance a marriage. And if it's not balanced, you could become vulnerable when you start having problems. You just start out talking to the guy with coffee at the job, something. I'm just making up a hypothetical situation.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you're not even talking about your relationship, but you guys are just talking about common interests and different things. And sometimes you could think, oh wow, damn, he sounds like he's more for me than my husband, or something like that. And then you start
Mm,
sharing different things, and that's how stuff happens. I believe.
yes.
I don't
I
know.
think vulnerabilities too happen when you are okay. A person can say, "Oh, my spouse isn't attracted to me anymore because I've gained weight." Is that
Right.
true? Is that true? Or are you feeling insecure about your weight and you're projecting that on your spouse? Also, like you said, you go through things in a marriage and it feels like that person's not for you. Um, we also have to make sure gosh, I just think that life is just so much of a lot of inside work. But you are in a situation where that guy is right there in your face and he's just
Uh-huh.
everything that you he ticks off, he checks all the boxes.
You
So
think.
well, sometimes they kind of can, because I've been in an emotional, type of entanglement where, I mean, I'm thinking of this certain
Right.
gentleman, and
Right.
he's so funny, and I'm like, oh, that's my friend, we hang out,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. And then when I saw my emotions start to change, I was like, ugh,
Well, see.
I had no, but listen, I didn't cheat, I didn't have sex or anything like that. I didn't even He doesn't even know, but we don't talk as much. We are not on the phone having conversations. We're not, because I knew I was getting, I would have gotten into a situation. So, but if it's gone so far that you're not loved, but again, I have this thing that if I'm already arguing with you, I'm not going to get in an argument with somebody else. That's just too much extra. So I just don't have enough energy to work on two things. That's just me. That's just a bunch. And then having tearing up your body with two people. I mean, that's just my little
You may not be
idiosyncrasies.
tearing up your body. You may not be tearing up your body. You might have,
Hey,
a body that can endure all that craziness. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just
what if
saying.
they run both on the same day? You just like, oh dang.
No, listen. Come back
Mm.
2 hours later when I freshen up, and here we go. No.
Maybe she got a good snapback game. You
Yeah,
never know.
yeah. Just hey, give me two
If
hours.
you
Baby.
already don't like your
Yeah.
husband, you gonna be wanting to say no,
No, my
But
husband
yeah,
is
I get it. I get it.
But I think someone said just now, Miss Enlightened One. Yep, I think people get entangled into emotional relationships, and that leads
Hmm.
to
Mhm.
something else. That's what I was trying to say earlier. You start talking to somebody emotionally, y'all get connected,
Yeah.
and then boom, something else happens. Especially if it's not getting better at home. But I hear what you're saying. Don't make yourself available for it to go further. That's what you're saying, Andrea, correct? You knew at
Yes.
that point, oops, let me bow out because this can go further.
And I don't think he felt anything. It was just me. I was like, man, I'm like seeking his attention. I'm seeking, what he has to say about things. And when I noticed I was not, it was becoming something different. Now, because you really can't work on anything at home if you are again, emotional energy. Because I think I saw that in the chat, and I totally agree. I
Right,
think the physical affair is less dangerous than an emotional affair. The emotional affair, oh my gosh, that is
right,
such a violation to me.
right, right. Andre, I feel like you very, very damaging, because it start breaking down who you are, what you believe in, what you're accepting is very damaging. Really be okay. So hold on. Enlightened one said yes, very draining. Yeah, it is very draining. If you talking,
It feels more of a betrayal.
hold on, of a betrayal, right?
Oh, emotional, feeling like you may love someone else. That's a that's a stab right in the chest. If you just getting your freak on with anybody, it's like, all right, you just hot in the
Yeah.
crotch. You know.
I don't know. You just often wonder what's going on nowadays, that we can't continue the marriage, that people don't want to be committed. And I'm like Duchess. I think they have like the thought, why buy the cow when you could have the milk for free?
I mean,
I just
if you
believe it could.
if you go out on a first date or second, third date, and you tell a man, I'm saving myself for marriage, 9 times out of 10, he won't call
Oh
you back.
yeah. Well, that's true, because they want the punani. They don't have time to wait. I mean, for real. Someone said emotional affairs are how people get killed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, playing with
Yeah.
someone's psychic. Yes, yes, that's how people get killed, entangled emotionally.
That was a
Yeah.
sharp left turn. I got whiplash on that one. How we get to murder?
But you know why? It's happening more and more too. I know you watch different shows where people do get emotionally entangled and they snap and they kill people. I don't think you should play with people's emotions. I think Lily or someone said it earlier, in it could have been Kay, that when you are speaking with someone who could be a potential mate, you need to be upfront about what your expectations are and what they expect, and be very honest and open with them. Because I don't know if a lot of people get married under false expectations. What do you guys feel about that?
What do you mean?
I mean, some people get married under false expectations, or thinking the person that they are, that they're not. You
Oh,
pretend
okay.
like, say, for instance, I believe in the same way you got her is the same way you keep her. If you open the door, if open the door for her, you brought her flowers, you say, use terms of endearment, say sweet things. That I know this is sometimes fairy tale for some people. I believe you should continue to do that. Just don't do it until you get me. And then once you get me, all those things drop.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Stop
that's
doing all those things. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what happened. People pretend to be certain people until they are, get married. And then they turn to different people. I
I mean,
believe.
a little change like that. I mean, I could deal with. But if I marry you and then you turn out to be a whole crazy wife beater, then no, this isn't gonna work. But if
Well, no,
you're,
I'm just saying. Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know by
I
fault.
think it happens a lot. I think we marrying one person, and then as soon as we get married, this person starts turning. But
Start
I'm not talking
changing.
about they start changing. I'm not talking about into a white beater and all this crazy stuff. But
Okay,
they
yeah, I'm like, how much of a change are we talking about here?
well, they don't expect you. I think because I believe in some cases they don't expect you. I mean, expect you. They don't respect you or value you enough like they used to before they
Mm,
married you. I just
mm.
believe that in some, cases. They
Man,
get so comfortable with you that they don't try to do the things that they used to do to win you over or keep you happy. They don't do those same things.
yeah. I mean, it,
Oh,
it
green
goes it goes
card.
both ways because sometimes we let ourselves go once we get married. You
Right,
go to bed with the moo
exactly.
and the curlers on, and he's like, "What happened to that
Exactly.
cute little nighty?" She
And you're
went
not
nowhere.
appealing. Someone said that, but you're not appealing to your husband as you were before, because you allowed yourself to go. I do believe it. You should always keep yourself up. Even if you don't work and you lay around all day watching soap operas, when your husband come home, you should be nicely dressed. This, to me, your hair intact, looking good, dinner's made. I still believe in stuff like that. I really do. I don't
Yeah.
think you should greet him at the door and the moo curls in your hair all the time. I don't. I know sometimes you don't feel like doing those things, but I think you should always be appealing and what they call it, appetizing to your husband, to your spouse.
Who's the comedian that said even Florida Evans kept her fro tight?
That's the truth. Well, ladies, let's see. Yeah, intent in a relationship is very important. Yeah. Okay, I dropped off by mistake. Okay, Pink, here, I'll drop the. So
Yeah,
go ahead, Andrea. Go ahead. Would you like to pose another question or something?
Miss
Oh,
Tiva,
did I take?
ready to
Go
go.
ahead.
Yes, yes, really big. What you
Thank
say, really
you.
big? You say you dropping off, really big?
Yeah, I have to get ready to go. I have dinner. Dinner coming.
All right, baby. Good for you. Thanks, really big. It was just an open conversation
No,
I wanted to have since this week.
I enjoyed the conversation.
I appreciate it, and I should see you soon, really big.
Yes, matter of fact, put in the private chat. Put your email address in the private chat, and I'll email you.
All right, got it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Bye bye.
All right, bye bye. Hold on, you guys. Let me put that. Oh, they could have put it in there. All right. I think I did it right. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Pink. Come on, Pink. Sorry, you dropped off. Go ahead. Miss Enlightenment,
Yeah.
would you like to come up here?
Yeah, what was somebody's about to ask a question.
Andrea
So I
was. Oh, go ahead, Pink. Sorry. Go ahead, Pink.
I wanted to say that I made that mistake in my first marriage because him and I knew each other from third grade on, and I was always able to just send him home when he got on my nerves. And then when we got married, I said to him, "You changed," and he said, "No, you just thought I was playing." And I'm like, "Damn, yeah, you're right, and I can't send you home. You live here," and so I was stuck dealing with somebody whose expectation was ridiculous. And and I had to deal with that for 8 years until finally I said, you know what, I'm out.
Wow. All right. You said you out? It was just that
Yeah.
easy.
After 8 years, it took a lot for me to finally say, okay, enough of this, because we're two totally different people.
Right.
Because we grew up together, so we grew up together. I went one way, he was going another, and he was expecting me to follow him, and I wasn't doing that.
Oh, did
The
you get
other
married
part to
young?
that,
Were you married young?
yeah, we got married
Yeah.
young, and like I said, we met each other in third grade. We lived right across the street from each other, so we was around each other every single day. And so my parents put it in my head, oh, y'all was supposed to be together. And then his parents encouraging the same thing. So it was like, okay, I guess this is what we're supposed to do. No, and then I realized I don't like him. I
Well,
don't like him at all.
someone just posed the question, binge, and I know several people who did this. What do you think about getting married for a green card? We just keeping it going.
How well? Do I know this person at all?
No, you know how some people from a foreign country want to come over here and get married for a green card to stay in the United States.
Yeah,
That's what you talk about, Benj.
Okay, but do I know how long have I talked to this person online? Do we have some kind of rapport? Like, if it's just a straight up blind, I just met you last week, kind of, I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, if we're friends and that's what they need, that's different.
Like I
you'll
can see
do it, Pink.
Yeah,
You'll
I would.
do it, Pink.
Really? I would.
I would be nervous. Because you do have to live together for a while.
I guess it's almost like that 90-Day Fiance type
Yeah.
thing.
See, I watched that a lot.
No,
I watched
Yeah.
that a
for real,
lot.
I
So.
watched that. But I said that was going to be one of the topics we sit back and chill and talk about. That 90-Day Fiance. I can't do it, you guys. Years ago, I was offered. Years ago, I was offered. Somebody wanted me to marry them for a significant amount of money so they
Mm-hmm.
could get a green card, and I was like, "Oh no, absolutely not. Nope,
It's
don't
just
do
it
it."
feels too much like prostitution to me. Like,
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not marrying you for no green card. No, but some people do. We
Yeah,
see it
I
all.
look at it like I'm helping somebody.
Really,
I'm not
Pink?
looking at it for me. Mm-hmm.
but that
Wow.
dude now has legal rights. Like, he's
Yeah.
your husband, so he could gank you if he
No.
really wanted to. And
Trina
then he gonna be
said,
standing there
An
like, "You
American
my
can
wife."
too.
You know, he gonna want to, he gonna want to have sex with you. Like, "Hey, we married now." I'm like, I don't know you.
"Oh no."
Well,
I don't
yeah.
know. It just feels a little
I
bit
mean, I
like,
would have to consider all of that before doing it, but yeah, I
Yeah,
yeah,
get
see,
it.
we'd have to set up some serious
yeah,
rules.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't. I,
Well,
I, I just wouldn't do it. That's just me. No, you
Yeah,
keep your money
and
now.
to me, it feels like you're making a mockery of marriage. And for me, marriage is like a religious institution. That's just how I
Yeah,
see
oh
it.
well,
So
right.
I
yeah.
don't.
See, that's why
Mm.
I believe in that too. But to each his own. Okay. Yeah. So, Andrea, what's your take on that? She must have stepped away. She
No,
might have.
I'm listening. I'm up here, sitting up here harassing K. Edwards.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
she wasn't talking to you, baby. She wasn't
I know.
talking to you.
I'm not mad at her. That's the thing. I'm just real
She
person.
laughing.
I'm very private myself, and so if I feel like I push somebody, that is like if somebody asks me stuff and I don't want to be asked, that irritates me. So I don't. I just want to make sure Kay Edwards knows that I don't want to get into her business, and I'm pretty much non-judgmental about what other people do. So we were talking about living together before married.
The
Oh,
green
girl, you
card.
all off.
Oh,
No,
the green
Andrea,
card.
the
No, the
green
green
card.
card. Well, the green card. The green card to me is not marriage.
Nope,
If
you
it's like if
marrying
it's
somebody
that
for the
for
green
pay, but if you fall in love, a friend of mine, actually authentic in love, and he got his green card, that's cool,
No, when
but
they offer you money, Andrea,
that's
when
what I'm
somebody
that's what I'm
say,
saying. Let
oh,
me yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if it's a financial arrangement, I'm just not interested because then someone comes around that is who you want to be married to, but you sitting here for 5 years with this
yeah,
joker. No, not on my list. Mm-mm.
yeah. Some people do it though all the time for a green card. Some marriages work out and some marriages don't. Hey, okay, that brings me to this next one. I think marriage was originally to keep property and such. Okay.
Yep.
Makes me think of 90-Day Fiance when think of marrying right for citizenship. Here's another one. Married at first sight. Could you marry someone at first
No.
sight?
Mm-mm.
Hell no. No.
Hmm? I
No.
no, Andrea.
Kind of funny, but my parents got married after knowing each other 2 weeks. And
Yep.
so, and so in their case, I don't know, that's what they did. And so it just depends. It's who you are. Some people are like, hey, let's move quick. I don't have time to waste. And some people are like me. I gotta I gotta make sure we're gonna be compatible. So
I, I love Kay Edwards. She said I probably could. Boy, Kay, I sure like to meet you. You're an interesting
I know
woman.
she is.
Woman or man, I don't know. Now, one thing I could say, I'm gonna tell you, I never forget when I worked one of my coworkers told me the story of her aunt getting married. That her aunt had met this guy at the bar. They were in the motorcycle club, and she met this guy at the bar, and she hopped on the back of his motorcycle, and they went to Vegas and got married. At that point, this was about 20 years ago. At that point, they had been married for 30 years. So, sometime marrying somebody, I guess it could work out. Yep, they were married and she had just met him at the bar and she hopped on that motorcycle. They rode to Vegas and they got married and have been married 30 years with a family and everything. So I guess it could work for some people. Love
Yeah.
at first
Uh,
sight, you know?
I don't know about on site, but I'm the kind of person that could could marry somebody within like 2 weeks. Because
You
Yeah,
I'm
can't
kind,
yeah.
that
Two
too?
I
weeks
can
is
I
cool.
can tell immediately whether I like you or not, or where this is gonna
Mm-hmm.
go, how this is gonna go. Like, just I don't know that
Really?
my discernment is on point. I told y'all that's my superpower when I got electrocuted as a child, and that's my superpower. I just can tell right off.
Oh wow. That's cool.
Like,
Well, Sabrina just commented, I've been with my husband, business partner for 5 years. It was business while we got married. So they got married for business purposes. I don't believe you have to be with someone for years to really know them. And,
mhm.
because you could be with somebody for years and don't know them, So I'm not saying you have to be engaged for years and get married. I believe you could get married in a short time and it works out. It depends on what direction you all are going and how you vibing. Did the chemistry mix and are your morals and values the same? And you could get married in less time.
I, I'm not dating. I'm the kind of person. I'm not gonna date nobody for no 5 years. Like, where is
Me
this?
either.
Like,
I'm
I'm
not gonna
kind
be
of what?
engaged.
I'm not wasting time. Where is this going? What are we doing? Like, 5 years?
Yeah. Pink, what did you want to say, baby? Pink, was you trying to say something?
Um, no, actually, my husband just told me he wanted to take me out for ice cream. So
Oh,
that was
okay.
the
Well,
conversation we were having.
that was nice. Well, enjoy your ice cream, beautiful. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, yeah. But thank you. I had fun.
Thanks, Pink. See you around.
Bye, Pete.
Okay.
I wouldn't wait years,
Bye.
but at first
Bye.
sight,
Thank you, Pink.
Thank you.
all right. So K Edward, not K, one night stands getting married and last. Yeah. I guess it's just a matter of who you are and what you guys are vibing with. I think it works. It could work. You don't have to know someone for years to marry them. I think in a couple of weeks, maybe a month, you could feel something and you could marry and it could work out. It very well work out. I know another couple who got married and they got married for one purpose and they've been married for years and they are the perfect family.
I mean,
I'm telling you. And
for
they only got
generations.
married for a reason. They got married for a reason. He wanted to help her out with something, and they got married, and they've been married for years, and a beautiful, strong family.
Yeah, a
So
lot of cultures and they have the arranged marriage, and it works for a
yeah,
lot of people. So,
it works for people. Would you do it if you wasn't married? Would you do it?
an arranged marriage?
Yeah, an arranged marriage.
Nah, I gotta see you. I gotta vibe first. Like,
It works for Sabrina. You got it. Okay, I got to
if
marry.
it was just some dude that my parents picked and I don't really like him or even know him, like,
Yeah.
nah.
I can't do at first sight. I met some good looking people who weren't ish. Met a dude driving a Benz on E. Looked good with a small peen. I gotta check. That's
Stop
what's up.
it.
Well, no, because some people could run into that problem. You just marry somebody and then they don't sexually satisfy you. And does that break your marriage? Or
Oh, no, you just gotta learn how to work it. Come on,
you
y'all.
know what? Yeah, because something could happen to someone and either one of you could become physically incapacitated. And do you in your marriage because of that reason, because the sex stop? No, you just find out ways to pleasure each other.
Those vows are real. Sickness and in health.
Yeah. Believe it or not, arranged marriages have a low divorce rate. Really, Andrea? I could believe
Mhm.
it. Yeah, that's not hard to believe. I like ugly dudes. They usually have a nice package. Well, all right, Kay, you on the roll tonight, baby. Kay says she like
Man,
ugly dudes.
the package ain't nothing if he don't know how to unwrap it right. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like,
well, go ahead now, Duchess. See, I think this. I don't think sex is everything. I know I
correct.
wouldn't leave my husband if he came incapacitated today or tomorrow. I wouldn't leave him because we weren't able to. He wasn't able to please me sexually, I think I would create ways to pleasure, you know, I don't want to say pleasure myself like that, but I would create ways for us, because love is just not, love is a serious commitment. Marriage is a serious commitment. You're in there for the long haul if that's what you believe. And I don't think because a person becomes incapacitated that you're in the marriage. That's just me. So you find ways.
You know, back in the biblical days, the men would just get, you know, concubine. Go bring back. We're
Well,
gonna bring back the concubines. They were just concubines are just side chicks.
Hey, Jazzy G, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for
So,
joining me, Jazzy G. I see you. Go ahead.
so I have a question. Whenever you're in a relationship and you do find that there's a physical issue, and say you just can't overcome it, do what are some strategies that a person may use to be able to, maintain some sort of sex life, because that is part of your health. Like I know the young lady, Goddess said Adam and Eve. And it's, some people, what I don't understand is kind of like not any reason to have those issues, because you have sex coaches, you have medication, you have implants, you have, I don't know, berries and juices. You have things you can do.
Not to be crass, but
it's
there's equipment out here.
Yeah, it's other things you could do, and it's just not a sexual thing. And when you love someone, it's just not sex, because some women to this very day, at this point, has been without sex for years because they don't have a spouse and they choose not to go out and be a floozy. So they have abstained from sex. So they have found other ways to pleasure themselves. So what would be the difference in a marriage if your spouse became incapacitated? But if you just can't, and I think that's what you're asking us, correct, Andrea?
Yeah, because when you're single and not having sex, you still have the option to go get, be with somebody. But in the marriage, you have to really think through it. So yes, that's what I'm asking. Sometimes I think self-pleasure would probably really bother someone if they have this person laying next to them, I don't know that, but I would think. So I just wonder, is that a reason? Could that be a reason to leave a marriage,
I think that could be tough, Andrea. I guess for me, I would have to be in the situation to make a call on what I would do. To be honest with you, I guess I would have to be in the situation to make a call.
And I think we suffer in silence unnecessarily because people don't want to have the conversations, because we have such a shame in our community. We're just the issues that I see all the time is, oh, you're not good enough because you don't have a man. And then you have the nobody wants you conversation, and so much shame. So people suffer in silence because of the shame blasting that people do about sex and internal value. So I just wondered about that.
Yeah, I guess in order for me to ask honestly, I would have to be in that situation.
Yeah, for him to not be able to do anything, it's like I guess you have to be like a quadriplegic or something like that.
Yeah,
they have things for quadriplegics.
What's wrong with his tongue?
I would feel guilty about leaving someone in that state.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it. Yeah.
Well, now if they'd have ripped out oh God, I hate to go there. Yeah, I'm not one to talk about this stuff. I don't publicly. I'm the wrong person. But if they didn't rip out his face off, I mean, he still had pleasurable tools. If he's still,
don't you want to smother that man? Don't you?
I mean, so let's go to the next question. I am just sitting over here blushing. Go ahead. But I mean, go ahead, Andrea. Pose the next question. Don't forget about the woman who choose to not have children being judged. That's sad too, because that's your choice. If you don't want children, that's your choice. No one should I don't know. Are you just saying in general? Because so much happened on here that's not the norm, but it is the norm, like on this YouTube thing. So I get kind of caught up. But that's your choice if you didn't want to have children.
Well, and my thing, that's like a whole another topic. I come from a family of women who it's common for a lot of us to say, you know, I'd rather be an auntie, and they're really good at it. I have, like, in each generation, they have actively chosen not to have children. I have another aunt that's married. They've been married all my life, and they just chose not to have children. That's their personal choice, and it goes back to me for internal value. So I'd like to pose the question of what people think whenever we hear a woman assaulting another woman. If you were doing what you should have been doing at home, he wouldn't have cheated. Or if that's why you don't have a man at home, or it's something wrong with you, because that is a problem where women can't make their own intentional choice about what they're going to do about their life, because you have all these, and a lot of times it's women who say, oh, men say you talk too much. That's why you don't have a man. No, I don't have a man because I don't have a man. And people have to be able to say that and be okay with it. So what do you guys think of if you've heard that in your life, how did you respond to that? What did you think about yourself? And, just be honest. It doesn't mean it's true if you thought it, but what did you think about yourself if you've heard that being said to you?
No one's ever said that to me, but I mean, it's just a lot of it is just rooted in old traditions of a woman is not married by so and so age, she's considered an old maid, and so a lot of us build our self-worth or our attractiveness on whether or not we have a man and can quote unquote keep a man. I hate that phrase, keep a man. That's tied into their self-esteem and self-worth, which is really kind of tragic when you think about it. But I've never had that personally happen to me.
Have you said that to someone?
Let me think.
I'll go to the next one.
I've heard people say that though. That's why you don't have no man, or that's why you don't have children. They don't have a right to say that because they don't know why you don't have a man or why you don't have children. So I don't pay it much attention. If I was that person, I wouldn't pay it much attention because you don't know why I don't have a man or I don't have a children. Those may be choices I make on my own. And I think when people say things like that to you, I feel like Trina, those are probably low self-esteem people saying that to you.
I think I have said that, but it was to somebody that I knew, and it was a certain situation. So it wasn't like I was, and I'd say it to her today because of the situation.
Well, I'm sure. I'm sure I said it. I'm not perfect. I'm sure I was just trying to think. Have I said, oh yeah, that's why you ain't got no man. Yeah, that's why you don't have children. Yeah, we could say some mean things to each other, but so I don't know. I'm sure I said it. So with that being said, the next question Benj is posing: should polygamy be legal? And then we go wrap this up. Should polygamy be legal? We just talked a little bit about that. Should polygamy be legal?
Why not? Everything else is legal now. I can marry my dog, all right? I can marry my.
And you'll be all right.
Like everything goes now. Me personally, no, I don't think it should be legal, but I think the gay marriage thing just opened up some floodgates. So,
okay, Andrea, what you think?
I'm looking at it as an economical thing. I don't think it should be legal simply because this is so wrong. All those children, that if they all chose to have a certain amount of children, and hey, I have 5 children, so I'm all about big families. But I'm saying is, okay, say I had sister wives and everybody had 5 children. Are you gonna make enough to take care of all those children? And then you go like you see in what's that state where they have all the polygamous marriages? Their
Utah.
welfare system is so bogged down. So it's bad enough that it's like that. How people with it being illegal. Imagine if it was like legal and everybody was doing it. That's just weighing down the healthcare industry. Because one person working, everybody on the health insurance. Because it says what
Yeah,
employee and
yeah.
family. No, And see, I'm looking at it as economic. So
You
it's just how
looking
you
at
look
it
at it.
economical aspect, yeah.
Yes.
I don't believe in. I would have a hard time doing it, but like we said, some of that is people's culture, and that's their choice, and that's what they like, and they make it work. I told you, I really enjoyed watching the Sister Wives. I just wanted to see how those people made it work. And they did, but I don't believe in it. I don't believe it. But should it be legal? I don't know. I don't know. I'm like you, Duchess. Everything else is being legalized. Everything. So yeah, I guess it should be too. I don't know. I mean, I just
But
don't even. Sometimes I don't have a thought or opinion on things that really doesn't matter. If they make it, if they legalize it, it's not going to affect me. Not that I know of. I would have to sit down, research it, and study, and see how would it, what impact will it make on my life. These people are just living their lives, and I just allow them to live it the way they want to. I don't always condone the type of lifestyle people have. I don't agree with it, and but that's them. If
yeah,
that
but
makes
you
them
don't have to
happy.
It
make
does.
everyone's lifestyle a law. Like you're changing laws now. Like, and where does it end? This is like a
Well, they do.
slope,
They,
you
And that's
know.
the what that's why I look at it from an economical standpoint, because that's when it touches me. Because again, you're overburdening the system with everybody, doing whatever you want. Now, if it's a husband, wife, and maybe a blended family, and there's like 20
right,
kids,
right,
okay, that happened. That's just what it is. But if it's like you are having all these women or all these men, and then everybody is, women can only have so many children, but men can just kind of spray it all, into their 90s. I just don't want to see. I just don't want the burden to happen. I'm a big believer, if you don't have the finances and the emotional ability to raise children,
right.
however many, one, like my best friend, she says, I only had one child for a reason, and I'll just invite your kids over. And that's how we did it for 20 plus years.
A lot,
What you have the ability to do. And
a lot of
so,
men are doing that now, though. Like some men have like 9, 10 kids
That's
with
what somebody
different
was
women.
making that point.
and
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Why
I have an issue with that.
not?
But if they
Mm,
can financially support them, I
And
don't
you
have a
can't.
problem with it.
You can't. I
no.
think I have a problem with it because I believe us as taxpayers support a lot of those people through different programs. That's my take on it, and that's just being honest. Like we taking care of children right now, and oh, please don't get offended, some people, but we're taking care children right now through different government assistance programs. We're paying for them to have all those children, to feed all those children, health care for all those children, housing for all those children, and that's just how I feel.
And don't get me wrong, if somebody needs help, I'm all for services. I
Me
mean, that's what I pay
too.
taxes for, and I'm grateful that I could help, be a help to someone. I'm just saying, when you, like Duchess
Well,
said, when you make it legal, I feel like it will increase the burden. But if that's the situation you're in, you have the man has 10 kids out there, the women need help. I don't have an issue with that. But I also want that, I want those women filing child support if it was up to me, but I can't tell them what to do, of
well,
course.
I'm not saying I might help them. Oh, absolutely not. I'd rather that I help and they take my tax dollars to feed a child that, that's, but I don't believe you should have all those babies dependent on me to take care of them. And that's when I say me, I say the system, my tax dollars. But I don't mind. I believe any program that was created, I would hope that people used it wisely and not misuse it. I know people have children knowing that the government will take care of them, and that's not fair to us.
If you can't feed your baby, then
You
don't have
shouldn't
a
have
baby.
them. That's what I
That's what
say. But when you
and you
have
want to
it,
be starting something, got to
see,
be
you know,
starting
back in the
something.
day, they could have all those children because they knew how to be creative with meals, and they did a lot of the housework, and they did a lot of bartering and different things. So big families was nothing. But nowadays, that's
Man,
something.
used to have all them
You're
kids
not
so they could work on the farm. That was
right,
help.
but see, they
That was
don't have that.
work.
They don't have that nowadays. Somebody said my son has 10 kids and it's all bad. He will never be able to care for all of them.
It's
Whoa.
all bad. How many
It's
mothers?
all
Good
bad. You
Lord,
was honest
wow.
about it. Yep, you was honest about it. Yeah, I just don't believe that. I believe that when you don't have the resources for your children and can't provide for them properly, then that's a problem. And so I don't agree on the system just taking care of children. So I don't think you should have 10, 7 to 8 children behind you. And the only time, yeah, I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to go there. So, you guys, I tell you, Andrea, producer,
Yes.
do you want to, do you have anything else, or you ladies? If not, I'm going to.
No, I really enjoyed this topic. I'm grateful that it turned into something different. I didn't really want to talk a lot about Jada and Will, but
Oh, no.
no, I get it. Yeah, it just every
Get it.
time we just bring the conversation, and then we learn a lot about ourselves and a lot about other people. So thanks for the conversation. I learned some things, and hopefully it's what we talked about was beneficial to other people and who have joined us. So it was great.
And
Thank you.
And thank you, Andrea. Like I said before, if you all don't know, Andrea is at Andrea. I don't know. Andrea is the producer of my shows.
Andrea.
Andrea, I know I do it to her all the time. Andrea. She's the producer of my show. However, today, you guys, it was a little different. I had to jump in here and do it. But thank you, Andrea. I enjoyed it very much. And don't forget to subscribe to my other channel because that's where we'll be doing a couple of different things. So and we will continue that conversation as well as this one. Remember, these are broad topics. We cannot cover them within an hour to 2 hour to 3 hour span of time, but we always could continue on. So we will continue on with the mental health. We're going to do that. We're going to continue on. Lady Nika probably will be on my panel with other guests, and we will continue on with the mental illness, you guys. These subjects are so broad, you just can't cover them in a day or two. We could talk about them for years to come, and I like them to be a part of my show. I would like for some of these topics to be a part of my show and you all to come back and join me. But we will continue to talk about it because we just can't answer all questions at one time when it comes to love and relationships, mental health, and other broad topics. It's hard for us to cover them, but I appreciate you for joining. Andrea, Miss Duchess, my co-host,
Yes.
my dear, what would
Yes.
you like to say? Miss Duchess, you was over in the mental health panel. What did you enjoy the mental health panel?
Oh, that was deep.
It was deep, wasn't it? It was deep.
I felt
I
so bad for that girl. Like and I know she didn't want to break down like that in front of everybody, but sometimes you got to do it and you have to get that cry out. I'm telling you,
right.
like I felt her story because I buried my mom 3 years ago too. And like you sometimes you can't control it. Like I was literally in Walgreens, and you know how Walgreens will call you and tell you that your prescription is ready, and
Oh yeah.
they kept calling every day with my mother's prescription. So I had to go. I went up there and I was like, "Can you please like stop calling about the prescriptions?" And the lady was like, "Oh yeah," and I just busted into tears, like in the middle of the line, in the middle of the store. The lady is standing there like, what the heck is wrong with this lady? I couldn't speak. Like I was crying so hard I couldn't speak for like a whole minute. So then I
You
was
know
like, yeah, my mother just died. And so she was like, oh, I'm sorry. And but after you get that out, you feel better. And so like I was just telling her, because somebody in the chat told her, like, don't cry, don't cry. And I'm like, no, let her cry. Get it out.
Cry. And you know, here's the deal. Sometimes we could seem a little disappointed, and I'm gonna wrap up with this one. Sometimes you could be a little disappointed that you don't have a big crowd, or something could go wrong and you feel like that you didn't serve your purpose. But I often think about it. What was our purpose? What was my purpose for going on that show? And what was the purpose of those people attending the show? And it doesn't matter if you have one person or 1,000 people. When God purposed you to do something, and that topic was purpose at that appointed time, we touched whoever God had purposed us to touch at that time. So I found it to be a very, very good show. And I believed at that point that we did reach out to someone, and someone reached out to us who needed us.
Yeah.
Who needed us at that point, just to listen to their story. They needed our shoulder to cry on. And at no point I wanted her to ever feel embarrassed or as if she had burdened us with it. It was necessary. When God send you, you'll go. He will equip you. And it doesn't matter whether you talk to a massive people or not. Whoever he select to be there at that appointed time is who he wants you to minister to in any way. And all of us are ministers to a certain point. So I enjoyed that show. We're going to continue that show. And I hope through these shows that we will help heal someone or direct someone to go to places and direct them with resources that will help them in any of their situations.
Yeah, it was just a little disheartening that, there was like 50 people there, and then there's like 800 people in the other chat that was
That's
just
how they do. You got to
complete
remember the sector.
nonsense.
I
And
know.
just
I
cussing.
know.
It was like, this is where all people are at right now. Okay.
Yep. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay, because it's hard to be positive in the negative space. And we already know we are really in a negative sector. And the positive people, they are fighting. And the only way you win, if you continue to fight. Don't give up. You right, because after that, the platform, the chat was filled when it was just garbage, when the lives are just garbage. But that's what they do. But it won't discourage me. It won't
I'm dropping
discourage me.
down.
Okay. It won't discourage me of being positive. So with that being said, thank you so much for Duchess. We're going to get ready to get out of here. We're going to continue to do our work. That's all I can say. All right. With that being said, if you see your king's crown crooked, help him straighten it up. If you see your queen's crown crooked, help her straighten it up. Speak life and wisdom into your princes and princesses. They are our joint heirs. And don't ever forget to be a blessing and not a bother. It doesn't take much for you to bless someone. Just make sure you try to do that. Somebody telling me to wait. The producers telling me to wait. Yes. Right. And my spotlight subby, hold on. Thank you. And my spotlight subby is exclusively me. Thank you, exclusively me. I know you're new to my channel. Thank you, producer. See, that's why you're there. I know you.
She's our queen to be. I'm sorry, I'm going to do that every time.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for joining me, exclusively me. I know you knew, but you are my spotlight subby. I enjoy you in your engagement, and I appreciate you very much. So, everybody, that's our spotlight subby, exclusively me. Now, with that being said, we will continue to get out of here. Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, you guys. Thank you. I almost forgot. Thank you to my awesome team. I never want to forget or to thank them. Redbone, Queen, Diva, Lady Lee, Bench Thinker. These ladies, some of these ladies wasn't even in their state. They was traveling, but they still stopped in to help me. And of course, my producer. I have a great team. And I just wanted to say thank you all so much. I appreciate you. And good night.